Ted, voice your complaints.
About what?
I don't know. You just seem to start
About
complaining about something. So,
stuff.
Oh, I could probably complain about Dota. I don't know that much about Dota.
all right,
Well, you know what? I'll tell you all about it.
we're
There's
good.
an amazing
we're good.
mode out.
We're good. Say your piece on custom games now. I'll let it open the show.
Okay, there's this new mode. It's called Devil Awakening.
This is for Dota 2.
Yes, yeah. And you know what? All the best custom games for Dota 2 are made by Chinese companies. And you know what? They're so good
Sounds like
that
my
they
uncle on
know
Thanksgiving.
how to get you, because you're gonna play, you're gonna like it, you're gonna get to a difficulty that you can't beat, and they're gonna be like, hey, if you just give us $6, we'll make it a little bit easier for you. And you know what I say to them? I say, fuck you, and I keep playing and grinding until I can beat it.
I'm sorry,
So
I
they
missed
don't
something.
get my money.
How are they charging you money in Dota 2?
They have a store, and you can click on a link, and it brings up like a PayPal and a bunch of Chinese like WePay or I don't know.
Yeah.
and you can send it to them, and then they will send you the currency to buy whatever to help you win.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, but it's actually a really fun game mode, and I say that all the time because it does the same thing that all the other modes do. It just proves upon something that's already existing, like auto chest or any of those, and just makes it more fun. So that's it.
That's it.
And it's been addicting, and everyone's been playing it, so I've been playing it.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
James, do me one favor before I intro the show. Will you look up the date the Game Awards are? Thank you. I think they're Thursday, the December 16th, I believe, but maybe earlier. All right. Hello? No, we'll go again.
You did ask him to do something.
Yeah.
December 9th.
December 9th.
Next Thursday.
The week before. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome back to the Sidescape Gaming Podcast, episode 80. I'm your host, Jake Burke, and joined, as always, by James St. Charles. James, how are you?
Doing great. 80 episodes, really.
80 episodes. Think of
80.
That's a lot of episodes, and a lot of just you and me talking to each other.
True.
But
then we've probably done more than 80 of that.
What's up?
So we've probably done more than 80 of that.
Oh, we talked a lot in this lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And someone that has joined us for some of the journey. He's been an amazing guest. We might make him a full-time member next year in 2022. Who knows? Can we afford it? His name is Ted Theodore Libby.
No, you make it sound like I'm about to get voted off.
Well, you're always
vote now.
Yeah.
If Ted stays.
Yeah, please text the number below on your screen and
16265.
It's like American Idol.
Yeah.
Actually, you want to know a fun fact, Ted? This is for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fun fact for you. So, Batman has had many Robins. You know this? Like, there has been many people to take up the mantle of Robin. Okay.
He just replaces the Robins, when they die.
He does. Yeah. So Dick Grayson was the first Robin, Richard Grayson. He went on to become Nightwing. We all know that. But Jason Todd was the second Robin. And Jason Todd, like, not a lot of fans liked Jason Todd. So then they had an event where the Joker captured Jason Todd as Robin, and they let fans vote by mail if they should kill or save Jason Todd. And enough people voted to kill Jason Todd, and the Joker kills and bludgeoned Jason Todd to death. And that became a big part of the mythos, but it was all a fan vote.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
So vote now to kill Ted.
Vote now if you want Ted. If you want.
I was gonna say Gears of War did that with a Carmine character. I don't remember which game it was.
It was Gears 3. You could buy the thing on Xbox game.
Yeah,
Xbox
to vote. Live. If you pre-ordered, was that it? You voted if you lived or if you died?
Yeah, no, I think you had to pay. You had to buy stuff for your avatar, your Xbox avatar. You had to buy like a shirt that said like "Save or Kill Carmine."
Kill Carmine.
Wait, play with my
I saved him.
like
and he lives in the end. There have many times he almost dies. But enough about all that, because this is the 80th episode of the Side Escape Gaming Podcast, where every Monday morning a new episode goes live on YouTube.com, SoundCloud, and Spotify, where once a week we sit down and Discord over 500 miles to talk about a video game related topic and what games we are playing. Our video game related topic today, we are going to talk about Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, and we're going to do our little predictions. It's kind of fun for us to just go through this giant list of nominated games and think what we think is going to win, not what we would pick, not what we would vote, but what we think is going to win at the awards. And James is going to keep tally of that. There are quite a few awards.
And then what are we going to do if whoever gets the most points? Last year we tied.
We actually did tie. We tied it perfectly, which is pretty good. I think the person that gets the least amount right should have to do something.
Should have to play something.
I like that. Or We'll figure it out. We'll talk at the end of the show. And
we'll have it. We'll have it by next show.
Yeah,
by whenever. Is it next show? Yeah, next show.
Next show.
Won't be next show.
Yet. Yeah, we won't know because we record on Wednesdays.
Couple shows.
Okay, so I've asked you boys to look through this list. We are not doing certain categories. Basically, anything esports related, we're not doing. That's out the window because we don't know FaZe Clan.
All right, the loser of this has to do a solo show where they just talk about the esports categories.
So you got 100 Thieves, you got Envy, you got.
It's a 5-minute show where you just break down every player.
You just read off the winners of the esports categories.
I like that. That's what we're doing, Ted.
Is it how prevalent is esports at the Game Awards?
Not.
I don't know. It shouldn't be.
So is it just Jeff Keighley goes up there and uncomfortably goes, it goes to Team Liquid.
Yep.
It goes to Double Lift.
Have you ever watched the Game Awards, Ted, with Jeff Keighley?
Yeah, you and I watched it 1 year.
Yeah, when I lived with you. He does like a bunch of awards now, kind of like almost off camera, and then they just like tell you who won. And
that's a lot of these esports guess ones. Who won this?
Yeah.
I mean, they can't do every single award like that. You know, it would take up too much time. But
yeah. No, I agree.
Yes.
Speaking of too much time, there's a lot of awards, so we're gonna jump right into this. I'm gonna start at the bottom, going up on our list that we have.
Oh my god, you're making it my life easy.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, because I don't want to start with Game of the Year. Okay, yeah. I apologize if I butcher names or stutter at all. Sometimes reading is hard, kids. Ted, this one's for you. Okay, best performance. Okay, you've got Erica Mori as Alex Chen in Life is Strange: True Colors. You got Giancarlo Esposito as Anton Castillo in Far Cry 6. You have Jason E. Kelly as Colt Vaughn in Deathloop. You have Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimasutra. Right? Is that how you say her name? I think it's like something like that.
I'll let you keep it like that, then you'll play the game and you'll see how it's actually pronounced.
Oh god, okay. I'm a little nervous. In Resident Evil Village, which apparently she must be good to get a nomination. And I'm so sorry. Ozima Agaha as Juliana Blake in Deathloop. Who do you guys think?
I don't know how to say that.
I don't either. Who do you think is going to win this category? Win, not who you'd pick. And if you do want to pick someone else after, you can say that. I think there's a big front runner here.
I think for me, and maybe you and I will agree, and I see someone editing right now, but I think it's Jason Kelly for Colt.
That's what I think as well.
It was amazing. Yeah. I've heard that Giancarlo Esposito wasn't really prevalent in Far Cry 6, even though I think he'd probably win if he was, and he's amazing. And the other category is not too strong. And for me, Maggie Robertson, like, good character in Resident Evil Village, not a mainstay. Like, you know, Jason Kelly is like the main protag, and that's
and he's like funny, and he's got a very endearing quality.
He's funny, and there's just like things that happen, and it works for the game. Like it's a great character, and he does a good performance. He does. And it's hard, you know, it's hard to do that for a video game, like
for that long, and
have all those lines,
dialogue.
There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of repetition, so I can only imagine.
Ted, is that also who you picked?
No, I'm messing around. I'm changing my answer the last second.
Ted is changing his answer.
I'm gonna pick Mr. Esposito from Far Cry 6, simply because he's high profile, and you're going into this knowing he's a good actor. So even if he's small, it's probably going to be pretty good. In fact, you go into this knowing he's a good villain.
Yeah, that's all he does.
And so I'm the cynic who just believes that they'll pick him because he's bringing a lot to the table, and that's all that matters.
He's the best marketing Far Cry has is their villains.
Exactly.
Best audio design: Deathloop, Horizon 5, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, or Returnal. I'll start on this one. I think it's going to be Forza Horizon 5.
Me too.
I think Forza Horizon 5 not being nominated for Game of the Year at the end of the show, we'll talk about. Like, there's some stuff that's not nominated for Game of the Year that I think is going to pick up a lot of awards when it is nominated. And I think Forza Horizon 5 is that game for people, because it is just
shout out to Deathloop for having some really good sound effects. I'll just say it here. But yeah, I think Forza Horizon 5. I mean, you make car sounds sound good, and you have it in the bag.
Call of Duty usually wins this category, by the way.
Yeah.
True.
For gun noises.
They use the same gun noise. No.
They also Returnal had some great sound. It was Returnal's a great game, and it should be on way more of these categories. Are you also saying Forza Horizon? James?
Yeah, I think we're all agreeing in
All in
Forza
agreement.
Horizon.
Best score in music. This is a weird one, in my opinion, because I don't know a lot of these scores. Cyberpunk 2077, Deathloop, Near Replicant version 1.22474487139. That's literally the title.
Correct. That was a great.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and The Artful Escape.
What is The Artful Escape?
Okay, it's an indie game it's actually on Xbox Game Pass. It is an indie game about like a musician's journey and like how music affects their lives, and it is like a story-driven.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a good
I want to play it before Game of the Year.
That's one of the games that I want to play before Game of the Year. Is that on?
It's on Game Pass.
Wow, it's on.
It is for sure on console. I believe it's also on PC Game Pass.
Okay. I don't see Inscription on here. I had great scored music.
My pick for this category is The Artful Escape. Without knowing much about it, I've heard from people the music is fucking awesome in that game. Okay. So I'm gonna go with original music.
And that sounds right if it's a musical game.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna go with Near Replicant because.
Can you please read out the whole title?
Near Replicant version 1.22474487139139.
Thank you.
Because Near actually has some of the greatest like music in terms of like score and design, and I love Salve Revelation, I think is the name. Oop.
Oh,
I don't know. There's just this really good song that's like sums up Near. And when this trailer came out for this game, which the game to me is nothing special, I heard it's like a remake, but the song was like incredible, like the detail with it, and the music is always like it's Final Fantasy-ish, and I know we love the Final Fantasy VII score, and that was amazing, and this is on that level. Keiichi Okabe is incredible, so I want to give it to that. The other ones, man, you can't. I look at Cyberpunk and I'm just not even gonna say anything.
Yeah,
but I'm not. Yeah, I don't know about the Artful Escape. Maybe that's really good. So.
That's what I'm thinking. Marvel's Guardians has a great theme. Like the Guardians theme in that game is really good. Deathloop, I don't really remember much of the music. Like it is jazzy, I guess, but like
it's the same stuff.
Yeah,
it's not memorable though. You're right. Like I know what it is like, and when you get caught and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's not.
Because that was such a selling point of that game when it first came out and like marketed was like it's kind of jazzy.
Yeah, the music sells an aesthetic for sure, but I wouldn't call it like best.
Yeah, last year
best
had
score
so much though. Like I feel like I could just remember like Final Fantasy Remake is always with me, but
and Last
there was some great. Yeah, Last Part 2. Good stuff last year.
Kind of a good game. Okay, best art direction, James. This one I want you to start on. Okay, you got Deathloop, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, and The Artful Escape.
I'm going Kena here.
Okay.
What an astounding game, like looking game, but also art direction wise, beautiful. Like
totally.
Clearly, like they knew where they were going.
This I think is one of the tougher categories to like pick a clear front runner.
Yeah.
I don't know about Artful Escape. Artful Escape could be the greatest art direction. So.
Yeah, right. There's another one too. Ted, what do you think?
For me, it's a tie between Ratchet and Clank, A Rift Apart, and Kena Bridge of Spirits, both because they are. They were both described to me as like a Pixar movie meets a video game. Yeah. And so for me, I'm kind of tied between the two. I wrote down Kena Bridge of Spirits. I might change my answer to Ratchet and Clank because I didn't put it for anything else.
Okay.
But simply because it is pushing that boundary of like, this is just an animated movie that you get to control the character.
Yeah. No, totally.
And I think that is important enough to me, or like important enough for the voters.
The voters.
It's vote, and then they have a committee. So
I'll go for Ratchet and Clank and be a little bit different here.
All right, and I too am going to be different. I'm going to say Psychonauts 2.
Wow.
People like Tim Schafer. They like wacky shit, and Psychonauts.
Love Tim Schafer, yeah.
And apparently it's great. Ted, have you played Psychonauts 2 yet?
I have not. It's
have you guys
installed.
played 1? Aren't you guys supposed to play 1?
Never played 1.
We were never. Yeah, we were never.
We should have.
Yeah, maybe you don't need to.
I've heard you can actually play 2 and not really need to know 1 very well, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would, Psychonauts for the past 13 years has been like my number one backlog game of like, oh, absolutely, love Double Fine, gonna definitely play it. But it's been that way for 13 years. I might as well just make the second one on part of that.
Part of that backlog now?
Yeah, exactly.
The most anticipated game for next year. This is a weird category.
Is great.
This is a fan voted category, so think more of a fan here. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, sequel to Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I love that that's the title they give it, and Starfield. This is a great category.
This is tough.
Yeah, I think this category could be just retitled "Whose fans are the worst." So I'm picking God of War.
Oh wow, I'm picking Elden Ring.
That's my close second, absolutely.
Because those people, and I like those games, we're nerds, and we'll be online and we'll be voting.
Yeah.
I think Breath of the Wild 2 is just still too much of a concept.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet. There's nothing to get hyped about.
It's like two little flashes of stuff.
We haven't seen much of God of War 2, but I feel like Elden Ring has more reach because it's PC. Well, it's console, but it's PC and console.
It's everything. All right.
So. That's a really good point. If you leave it to the people to vote.
Yeah, because God of War is not going to be PC and consoles.
Nope, not yet. It will be soon. Okay, best multiplayer. This is a weird category. Back 4 Blood, It Takes Two, Knockout City, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim. Best multiplayer. I'm gonna start.
Yes.
I said It Takes Two. I think mainly from just a couch co-op game. Jeez.
Couch co-op.
Couch co-op game.
Co-op.
The couch co-op kind of aspect. I also think all of these games the other games have had issues where It Takes Two has had really no issues. And I kind of think that's, and Valheim I think is weird because it isn't really out yet. It's in early access and kind of that nebulous kind of weird state of games. So that's why I said It Takes Two.
I picked Valheim,
100%.
Both personally, and I think it might have a shot here. It's super weird that it's here because it's early access, and we haven't had a discussion yet about if early access should be allowed these kinds of events or if they should be at their own table.
Yeah.
But Valheim, for what it is, and for the amount of experiences that I've had and that so many other people have shared, it's one of those things where like it gets your hooks in you, and then it gets your hooks in your friends, and then you guys are all up till 4 a.m. And so I think anybody who's really put some time into Valheim would vote for it. I think it has a shot here.
All right. I like it.
I actually agree with Ted. Valheim has a huge pull and a huge audience when it first came out, so I feel like that audience is still like gearing for more.
Mm-hmm.
So
New
World had a big audience too, but I feel like everyone hates it now, so I'm not going for it.
Valheim has that feel of like, you ever play a game like an open world RPG and you're like, man, if only this was co-op, and you just forget about how hard that would actually be, and you just go, it'd be great if all my friends were here. Valheim is the first game that just does that, and I think it has a great multiplayer for that reason.
Yeah.
I like that. Good. Best sim/strategy game. Age of Empires 4.
How strategy games have fallen. They used to have their own category.
There's very
now they're not even esports.
Now they share a category with sim.
They share a category with sim.
I feel like we're pretty well versed in games, and like we know kind of what's happening, what's getting released, what's out there. I have no idea what the fuck Evil Genius 2 is. World Domination. Do you guys know what that is?
No, but it's on Game Pass, so play it now.
It's you kind of play as a villain with a secret lair, and then secret agents will attack you, kind of tower defense style. It kind of feels like a mobile game.
Okay,
and I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way, but it's
just kind of weird.
It's a little kiddish, a little goofy.
Okay. Also, the game that won last year is also still on this nomination list, which I think is hilarious.
Hell yeah. I don't understand that either. Are we talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator?
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I don't know why that's here.
Is it just because it's like a living game? I don't know. That's
weird.
It
came out last year.
It won last year. It won this award last year.
Jake, the world has changed, and so the world of Flight Simulator has changed with it.
That'd be like if next year they like Joaquin Phoenix was just nominated for the Joker again at the Oscars. You can't do that. I do like that concept though.
Bring it back,
Jake. Microsoft Flight Simulator is the exact same game as last year. You just can't fly to South
Africa. Just travel restrictions everywhere. If you really want to get simmy with it, the last thing you have to do before you can take off with your plane, you have to take a COVID test. Age of Empires 4, best sim and strategy game. Age of Empires 4, Evil Genius 2, World Domination, Humankind, Inscription, and last year's winner, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Can I go first?
Beautiful.
Yes, I would love you to go first.
Cool, because I'm upset. I feel like all of these games, with the exception of Age of Empires 4, all of these games don't meet this criteria. Evil Geniuses 2 is a tower defense game. Humankind, I guess, is
Humankind
okay.
meets
Humankind
it?
is.
What do you mean?
Humankind,
That's a
it does
Sim.
meet it. I don't think it's a winner. Inscription
No,
is not
none
a
of you played
strategy
it.
or a sim.
But I'd still
by
vote
any
for
means.
Inscription.
I'm still voting for Inscription too.
You guys both.
No, I'm not gonna vote for Inscription.
Oh,
No.
I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I said I
totally-
would.
And then Microsoft Flight Simulator came out last year. It's ridiculous. This category is between Humankind of Age of Empires 4.
But Inscription will win. James, put me down for Inscription. It's gonna win.
You
here.
got it. I'm gonna bet on 10. I think Age of Empires 4 is gonna.
Yeah, Age of Empires 4 is a strategy game with tenure. And that's apparently all you need in this category is to be a tenured video game that's been around for 20 years, and then Microsoft makes it.
You know what, Ted? You lost me. I'll go with Inscription.
Yeah, fuck Ted. Watch your video on a trebuchet, bitch.
It's so good. Yeah, Humankind. I don't know if you guys played it. It really did not.
No, it did not.
It did not.
It was good at first, and then it got really dumb, and then they never fixed it.
It was fine, but fine was the best it ever got.
Yeah, it became like, oh, this is the exact route I go, and there's nothing different.
Yeah.
Well, so well.
Speaking of routes and going one way, let's talk about cars. Best sports / racing game. FIFA 22, F1 2021, I can't read today. Forza Horizon 5, Hot Wheels Unleashed, which is awesome that's on there, and Riders Republic.
Riders Republic. That actually released?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh boy.
It was half off on Black Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
think
we
this
all
game's
are
pretty
running-
obvious.
Yeah, okay.
It's
We'll move
Forza.
on.
Yeah, there is a part of me that really wants to vote for Hot Wheels Unleashed because of how good of a game it is.
Yeah.
I haven't played it because, to be honest with you, it's full priced and I'm not
It's full
doing that
price,
right now.
but it looks good. I just
Um,
seen it play.
Yeah, I'm just not
It's
about a
brilliant.
$60 racing game at the moment, especially Forza Horizon 5 is a
Basically
lot
free.
cheaper right now. Yeah, but I think Forza Horizon 5 has to take it. It looks so gosh dang good.
Yeah, and it just isn't nominated for Game of the Year, which I think a lot of people's
Yeah.
Game of the Year right now, like because that's this year's kind of odd.
So I will be happy if Hot Wheels Unleashed wins this, but I'm putting my vote down for Forza, as are both of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lock it in, James.
Locked in.
Best family game. This is also known as the category where we nominate every Nintendo game just so they're there.
Family.
Family. Okay. Best family game. It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World, and WarioWare Get It Together. James, do you want to go first? What do you think?
I'm going Mario Party Superstars. From what I've seen and from what I've heard, it's probably one of the best Mario Party games out there. And if you're a fan of Mario Party games, like this is the one.
Right.
So it incorporates a lot of the old stuff with the new stuff, and it's pretty seamless. The other games here, like It Takes Two, doesn't really strike me as a family game.
Oh.
Like it's a co-op game, but it's definitely not like, hey, play this with the family. It's dealing with these sort of like family problems.
Yeah.
Go ahead and it's weird.
I agree
So,
100% with you.
yeah,
I'm going to pick Mario Party as well.
Yeah. The other games again aren't as popular. Like Pokemon Snap isn't definitely not a family game. Super Mario 3D World is a single player game.
Kind of. You can play like co-op, I think, with like the hat or like something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. And then WarioWare would be good, but I don't think it's too popular. I love WarioWare, but
yeah,
it's just like Mario Party. You know?
I'm gonna vote for It Takes Two. I think that's gonna sneak its way into a couple of these as a winner of a couple of these categories, but I don't see it hitting big or like Game of the Year or anything like that. So I'm gonna put it down for Best Family.
All right.
Nice.
I love it.
At the very best, Super Mario Party. What is this? Mario Party Superstars. Excuse me. The super's in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Is derivative at best. It's basically a remake.
It's more Mario.
Yeah.
But so is Super Mario World 3D Bowser's
Well,
Super Mario
and
3D
gonna-
World plus
that's not gonna-
Bowser's Fury. And
That's not gonna win either.
It's like all the Kingdom Hearts titles.
yes.
Kingdom Hearts 1.7
HD
remix, the Delta variant Shadow Claw. Best debut indie. Kena Bridge of Spirits, Sable, The Artful Escape, The Forgotten City, and Valheim.
Where's Inscription?
Not there because it's not a debut. Debut indie is by a brand new studio.
Oh.
So there is a best indie category later.
I see.
Yes. So
Got it.
this is their first game they've ever done.
Perfect.
I think there is a clear front runner here.
Yeah.
And I think Valheim would have a chance, but it's in a confusing, not fully out yet stage. So I think this is a Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, we said it before, but Kenna Bridge of Spirits wowed all of us with just looking so good.
Yeah.
They play. It was very fun to play.
Except
for the ending.
A part of me really wants to root for Sable, but I don't think there's that much of a game here to really hit it home. Plus, Sable had and still has a little bit some technical issues that kind of suck.
Stuttering, yeah.
And also, with Valheim, it is in a really weird state of like they came out with an early access product and then sold 5 million copies.
Right.
Yes.
And kind of promised a roadmap forward. And so to think of this as like a completed, done indie game, we are an artful product.
It's not,
here we
it
go.
doesn't belong here.
Yeah. It's not that. Yeah.
They need a category for early access.
True.
Like best developing game fine. Or something. Okay, this is the next category that I know actually 0 of these games except for the game that stars SpongeBob SquarePants. Best fighting game is Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hikokami Chronicles. James, how did I do?
I think you nailed it.
No. But
close enough?
It's close enough.
Demon Slayer fighting game. Guilty Gear Strive, Melty Blood Type Luminia. Yep. Nickelodeon.
I thought that was a typo.
Nope. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl and Virtual Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown.
Mm-hmm.
I just picked Guilty Gear because people like those games, and I know
think
it is
Guilty Gear, and I mean, Nickelodeon was really popular when it first came out, but this is like a $60 game, and it's dropped off.
Yeah.
And Demon Slayer is just, it's not really a fighting game. It's like one of those Naruto fighting games, where it's just like fun story fighting.
Okay.
People really like those Naruto
I haven't seen anything
games.
as Virtua Fighter 5. Ted, have you? Is that being played?
It's complicated. Because it's a PS4 release.
Just on PS4.
It's just on PS4. They released a PS4 game. I think you can play it on PS5, but you are buying a PS4 game.
Okay.
And it got really caught up in the whole. Can you play a PS5 on a PS4? Will they release a PS5 version that I'll have to buy separately? And so it got caught up in a lot of confusing stuff. I have not seen a lot of it.
No, I haven't seen any of it.
This year and last year, fighting games have been in a weird spot where you can't actually play in tournaments.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Guilty Gear Strive, though, and a lot of tournaments for that, so...
Yeah, Guilty Gear is winning based on its tenure. It looks beautiful, and it works online pretty darn well.
Yeah, it has one of the best rollback netcodes that everyone praises. And
Virtua Fighter 5 was built for in-person split screen, which really sucks right now.
Yeah.
And then Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls is a really good game, but everything that I've heard, read, and saw is that they were not given the budget to really make this game.
They don't have a license for stuff.
And there's no sound.
They were not
license.
Yeah, they weren't given music licenses. They weren't given like voiceover samples for the characters.
Yeah.
And they said they would like to add all of that stuff in, but they basically put an open letter out that said,
please.
Like, we would love to do this. Like, you would love us to do this. We would love to do this.
Nickelodeon will let us.
Yeah, so...
Weird.
Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawls 2. Transformed.
The other Brawl game coming out, is it WV Brawl?
The meta... What is it called? It's got a great name.
I don't know, but it took a jab
the
at Nickelodeon.
Warner Brothers Looney
the Warner
Tunes.
Brothers one,
Yeah, but it's like it's called like Meta... It's called something versus. Metaverses.
Yeah,
Metaverses.
But they took a jab at Nickelodeon, like say like, hey, fully voice acted and everything, and I was like, ooh.
That game's wild. That game has like Arya Stark and Shaggy, and the cast is fucking wild.
It's stupid.
I'm interested. I'll play it. Looks fun.
One of the best fighting game developers is in cahoots with Warner Brothers.
I know.
Give NetherRealm the keys to everything.
Ted, the rumor's still there. They're making this Marvel game.
Make Mortal Kombat versus everybody.
Right.
Please. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
I would also just like to see Injustice 3, because Injustice is
me too, actually.
Best role-playing game. This is just amazing that this is nominated as Cyberpunk 2077. Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and Tales of Arise. I'd be curious. I don't think any of us have played any of these games.
No.
So I'd be curious to hear.
I've played Cyberpunk, but I haven't.
I guess we all played Cyberpunk.
Yeah, we all played.
We played Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk beat me.
Yes.
So I'm curious what hear you guys from what you've heard, other people read about. What do you think is going to win this category from kind of the media?
I think Ted, on your pick, you should probably.
I wrote a question mark.
Okay.
On
but I think your pick is it though.
Yeah, Scarlet Nexus. It's actually on Game Pass for those who are unaware, and it is. Gosh, I'm blanking on what exactly it is. It's like a
vampire.
It's like an anime. Yeah, it's like an anime RPG, but it has a lot of like ARPG loot grind stuff to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so apparently that part of the game plays really, really well. Like it's a really fun gameplay loop to actually play. And so I think that, James, if you have more,
I'm thinking of Code Vein.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Scarlet Nexus. Okay, now I remember what this is actually a really great game. It's actually pretty highly rated. Something I should probably. There's no way I'd have time to play it before. Maybe
you could probably do it. You just have to really power down. It's probably only like 70 hours. Just tell your friends to shut up.
It's probably is like
one of those
30 hours.
I'm actually not picking Scarlet Nexus. I know. I'm picking Tales of Arise. It reviewed very well. Yeah. And a lot of
Tales games are great.
Yeah, people love the Tales games, and this is like a very big upswing because the last Tales game, I guess, was like so.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was at too. I would pick that as well, but I kind of want to stick with the Scarlet Nexus just because I hear
I'm going with Scarlet Nexus.
It is such a uniquely fun game to play, both in terms of like if you like RPGs and you like those Diablo kind of hack and slash grind-a-thons.
I would be curious if you played it, James. What you think?
Yeah. I think I'll check it out. I'll put a few hours into it before our Game of the Year talks.
Okay.
It seems like a really interesting game.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing.
Tales of Arise is a game I'd want to play, but I know it's 90 hours, and I'm never going to play a 90 hours.
It's definitely. It's a lot of like cutscenes too, so.
That's not going to happen for me.
Yep.
Best action adventure game. I hate this category.
Me too.
Because this is just a hodgepodge of. It's a mess. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. I think this is also a very hard category.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, Ted. What do you think here? What's percolating in that brain?
I mean, what an action adventure means to me is like a combat forward game, but also like has a really fun story and like a through line, like a beginning, a middle, and an end. You do the thing and you're done. And to me, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart kind of falls in that vein really well. Of like, it's not a thinking man's game. You're just going to shoot and pick up weapons and kind of go through a story, but you are just going to go through a narrative from beginning to end. That's the end of it. So of these games here, I would say Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart will do enough for the voters to pull out a win.
That's a great opinion. I don't have a front runner in this. I'm very I'm kind of curious what you guys have to say about it.
I'm going Resident Evil Village because I feel like it needs to win something, and this would be it to win.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel that none of people played Ratchet and Clank, and a lot of people played Resident Evil Village. Get some votes.
I was going to bring it up at the end, but we can bring it up now. Do you think the fact that a lot of people can't play PlayStation 5 games will affect any of this?
This is being voted on by people that have PS5s.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of what my thought process was.
I mean, yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's being voted on by like games journalists, so it's not going to affect like that much. I don't think.
Yeah.
It's not like
half the voters plebeians without PlayStation 4
without PlayStation 5
will just be excited to play these games.
I mean, it is voting on a panel that's basically like played all these games. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do think James on a very big thing with Resident Evil needing to win something in like a weird way of like, if it's going to win a category, it's probably be here because it's not going to win Game of the Year kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not going to win anything else actually.
I feel this way about Metroid Dread. That I feel like a lot of games.
I don't think it deserves to win.
But I don't think it does either. So I'm also going to say Resident Evil Village. James, lock it in.
Let's go.
But I think Ted has probably a better shot.
Ted has probably like the front row. Like to me, Ratchet Clank would be like the. That's
Ratchet and Clank to me is it's like if you said what's an action adventure game, I would say a Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. That's like Guardians of the Galaxy, but it didn't have fun gameplay enough to win this category.
Yeah,
I think the story
it doesn't have a wow factor necessarily.
No. Wow. Okay, best action game. This category.
There's action and action adventure.
Yeah, because one you do adventures, and this you just do action. Man.
Just action. Yeah.
Back
so I
for
think
Blood.
this category focuses on gameplay,
like shooting gameplay.
Like what are you doing?
Doing stuff.
Back for Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. And I'm gonna say it's Returnal.
I'm gonna say it's
me
Deathloop.
Too.
Oh, you're saying it's Deathloop, James?
I'm gonna say that Returnal didn't get a lot of
Returnal, arguably, Returnal's fucking good.
Super underrated
Returnal's
game. That's what I'd say.
But I'm really surprised how high that is on my game of the year list.
I would absolutely love for Chivalry 2 to be on this list.
Well, it is on the list.
Or to win this category, but it is definitely
no way it's not gonna win.
No.
It has to be either Returnal or Deathloop.
I think it's so too. I don't think Far Cry wins. I don't think anything else.
No.
I think Back for Blood has too many issues of it being too hard, too it's buggy hard, or they were just spawning in too many.
That game is done, and that game is supposed to be like a replayability game with a battle pass and all this stuff, or content. It's done. Yeah. There's no one playing it.
Best VR.
We can change that if we started playing it.
We're playing Halo tonight, Ted.
Hello.
Best VR/AR game: Hitman 3 in VR. I Expect You to Die 2, Lone Echo 2, Resident Evil 4 in VR, and Sniper Elite VR. I put Resident Evil 4 VR because apparently that was real good. People
that really was only for Oculus though, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it was Oculus exclusive.
But I'm curious what you guys think, if you have any opinion in this VR category.
I was going to agree. The only one that I had heard about necessarily was Hitman 3 and Resident Evil 4. Hitman 3 wasn't necessarily anything special, right. But a lot of people said Resident Evil 4 was something special. And
I saw Sniper
once again,
VR is also good.
Resident Evil 4 has tenure.
True.
So
it's just everyone's favorite game is
yeah.
Ted,
I would be really curious by a Sniper Elite VR. That sounds like a really interesting game.
Yeah.
But I have not even heard of it until this conversation.
Hitman 3 is not nominated for anything.
Yep.
And it came out this year.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's incredible.
It's Hitman 2 with stuff, right?
But Microsoft Flight Sim is nominated in the same category that it won last year.
Yeah, but if Hitman was put in the simulator category, we would have a very different conversation.
It is the most simulator game there, I would say. It is a strategy game.
That is, yeah. I think I would say that Hitman 3 isn't special enough to be nominated for a lot of these categories.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Ted, this is your category. I want you to read this list.
Best mobile games?
Yeah.
We talked about this. I don't freaking know these games. Okay. Fantasian.
Yep.
That's the first one. Genshin Impact. Parentheses, fuck you, Ted.
Oh.
I never wrote that.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Language, I guess. League of Legends Wild Rift. Marvel Future Revolution, and then Pokemon Unite.
And who's going to win this, Ted?
I solidly am going to say Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite is a uniquely good game, and it plays really well on phones. And, I will disclose that 3 of these games, Marvel, Future Revolution, Genshin Impact, Fantasian, I have never even played, haven't really heard of. League of Legends Wild Rift is a really good game, but at the end of the day, it is just a remix of League of Legends. It's a formula that's been done already. Pokemon Unite is a wholly new game that it works really well on phones. It's also out on the Switch, but I have continued to play it on my phone because it plays better on the phone.
That's so funny.
Wow. Interesting.
I too think it's gonna be Pokemon Unite. I think it's got Pokemon love, and it seems like people really like it. So.
I would argue that when we are all playing games on our phones, because our phones are more powerful than any other computer, we will look back on games like Pokemon Unite as the games that brought us here.
The games that made us.
Mm-hmm.
James, what do you think?
I'm going Genshin Impact. It's a incredibly popular game.
Yeah, people love it.
But it's a gacha game, so I don't know how well gacha games do on here voting wise. But it does have good core gameplay. It's just you need to pay money to get.
Can I bring something up real quick?
Go ahead, Ted.
For the table. Genshin Impact was released on September 28th of 2020.
When did it come out on phones?
Same time.
Did it come out at the same time on the phones?
I think so.
That's the only thing now I'm thinking about.
I think it came out before.
Because it was on like PS4 and stuff for a while. So I'm curious if it released on phones after. And that's why it's just in the mobile category.
It released the mobile version of Genshin Impact released on Android because they have a website November 11th of 2021.
So that could be right around the cutoff time for
last year. Wait, last month?
2021. Oh, updated. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was like, what? Last month?
Sorry, they only have updated. They don't have released.
That's all right.
I swear it. Yeah, I mean, I felt like it was released last year, but you know what? It's Genshin Impact, and I'm going Genshin Impact.
Microsoft Flight Simulator is still there, and it won that category last year. There are no rules.
Right.
This is fucking Mad Max out here. All right, best indie game. This is, I think, a very interesting category. I can't wait to talk with us about because we've all played most of these games, if all of them. Best indie game: 12 Minutes, Death's Door, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Inscription, and Loop Hero. I think we'd all vote for the same game.
Yes.
If we were voters, but I'm curious to think. Do you think it wins here by like a mile? Because I don't think it does.
I really hope it wins here. Like it deserves to win here.
Yeah.
So I want to put my money where my mouth is because I think if it doesn't win here, Kena wins. But it's Inscription. I feel like
think Death's Door. Death's Door is popular.
Death's Door was good when it came out, but not. I talked with a lot of people. Not a lot of people played it. Not a lot of people were into it.
All right, you sold me. Put me down for Inscription.
You got it.
I was gonna say Death's Door. Yeah, I even highlighted it on my little phone.
I love Death's Door. Like it was great, but I think it definitely came out early and left and didn't leave like a big mark on a lot of people.
Yeah, and of course we all have our biases, but I would say as well in my in my friend groups and in where I listen to my podcasts basically, nothing here hit harder than Inscription. Loop Hero was very cool.
I love Loop Hero when we first played,
but Loop Hero doesn't have the wow factor that Inscription had.
Yeah.
I want Inscription to win for sure, and I actually think it has a shot here. Mm-hmm. It's a very cool game, and I
feel like it has a shot.
There's definitely
it's left its mark.
Yeah, there's cause that like not everyone who's voting has played this game, but if they have, they know what boundaries Inscription is pushing.
And if you really liked Inscription and want to hear people talk about the ending of Inscription, please check out our Inscription spoiler cast on the Sidescape Gaming Podcast and also in Sidescape Clips.
Yes, I bought everyone this game basically. So nice. I gotta put my money where the mouth is. It better win this.
You did, James. How many copies of this do you think you bought?
5 at least.
Damn.
Not so 6. I'm not including
your own.
Yeah.
Okay. Best narrative. We're in the final 4 categories. Strap in, folks. Best narrative: Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange: True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2. Does anybody have one they want to start talking about? What do you think?
I want It Takes Two to win here.
Okay. Do you think it's going to win?
I think it might win.
Ooh.
I'm putting my money on It Takes Two, even though like I've heard people like we didn't beat it. We didn't play the whole story. I was going to say, did
you like it? Did it have a strong narrative for you?
It definitely wasn't strong at the top, but I've heard the ending is great and it has. But like if it's not It Takes Two, I feel like it could be Deathloop. But
I think it's Life is Strange. The game reviewed really well, and it is only about the story.
Yep.
I think Deathloop has a kind of an unsatisfying ending that is pretty unanimous among everybody that's played it.
Did not like the ending. Yeah.
The ending's just like, all right. And I think that when you end the
first Life is Strange is so good. So
this one's supposed to be great. I almost bought it on Black Friday sale, but then I was like, I don't want to play it.
I don't want to
play it. I heard Psychonauts 2.
This one's great. I don't want to play it.
I don't want to play it.
I heard Psychonauts 2 has a great story to it. I heard Guardians of the Galaxy is a very good story. I liked Deathloop, and I've heard It Takes Two did okay. Life is Strange, I think, hits that category of like there are probably thousands, if not millions, of people who love that game that I just won't ever have a conversation with.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see this winning by a mile, and I just didn't even know it existed.
Right.
And like you said, it reviewed very well. It has a controversy around it, which is always fun. There's a Taiwanese flag in there. I think Life is Strange could win this.
I think so too. Best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. I'm going to say my vote would be for a very small game. We don't talk about it a lot, called Fortnite. because they just added Nick Fury and an Air Jordan 2000 robot. There you go. Fortnite.
You know, I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go Apex Legends.
Ooh. And it will not be anything Blizzard related. So.
I am now realizing that I didn't vote for this. And it's really interesting because it's like, for all of these games, I'm thinking of like, what have you done for me lately? And it's like, Apex Legends has had some new characters. That's cool. Call of Duty Warzone is canceled, so we can't vote for that.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy, I think we're in some kind of like downslope as people are getting ready for some kind of new expansion.
Well, the new expansion comes out Friday. It's supposed to be like the best expansion.
Yeah, so from what I understand about Final Fantasy 14 is that it's kind of lulled right now. That's why a lot of people are really excited for New World. Definitely not a bad game, but kind of not at a hype point.
Yeah, it's a peaks and valleys.
Fortnite is Fortnite, and then Genshin Impact. Totally over my head. Which means that I still have to make a decision.
You just read through the games, so that was pretty.
I know.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
I was waiting for Ted going, and that brings me to my pick.
I
will not vote.
I was hoping mentally
boycott
that I was
the game awards.
I sustain on this one.
I'm gonna go for Final Fantasy.
Perfect. We all picked something different.
James is fucking done. All right. Best game direction, James. This is for you. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart.
I think Returnal wins here.
Ooh.
This is where Returnal wins.
I like that.
That's where I'm going.
I'm gonna say Deathloop. I love your pick.
I'm gonna hard disagree.
I'm gonna say probably not. I wish it would. I think Deathloop. We're gonna talk. I think a lot more about Deathloop in the next category as well. But I think as a big mass media video game that does something very interesting, it does enough different to kind of stand above with game design of like the different locations, the different time periods, different interactions happening if you do one thing in one time period, and kind of that trickle effect that I don't think we've really seen yet. So I think we're going to see a lot more of now in game. Ted?
So I have a hunch.
Okay.
That a lot of these people are going to have their noses in the air, and Deathloop is a really cool concept. But the more you break it down, the more you realize it's kind of just a linear video game experience.
But it doesn't feel linear because the game design is so good.
It doesn't feel linear, but it is linear. It's a very cool wool over your eyes. So I think a pretentious hoity-toity game reviewer might go, it's just a linear experience.
Deathloop got 10s. Deathloop got 10s.
I'm sure it did. Depends on what news media you follow. I'm going to pick It Takes Two because
Joseph Ferris.
It's doing something. Yeah, it's doing something uniquely different in being this like co-op experience.
Yeah, I like that. And
if Deathloop wins, I won't be surprised. But I'm betting on the fact that there are enough dickhead reviewers out there who are gonna like poo-poo Deathloop.
You said Returnal, James. I love that call.
Returnal's a good call.
It's a long call.
Well,
it's a long call.
It could be Psychonauts too.
Sell me on Returnal. What, in terms of game direction, is Returnal doing well?
I mean, for what Jake told me, it's probably one of the best rogue likes.
Is it the roguelike aspect of it?
It's a really good roguelite that utilized all of the PS5's new features very well.
Yeah.
Like the escalation and how you get from like leveling up your character is just, it feels very fresh and
from all the reviewers that I've played it, they loved it. And so
right.
And it's just it's frenetic, like the fast action. It's so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Great word.
I could see that.
Frenetic.
I could see that being a contender as well.
Yeah, I think it should be a contender for Game of the Year as well, but it's I think kind of more niche category than others. Yes. Speaking of Game of the Year,
Jinx.
Game of the Year. Jinx.
James is just delayed.
I'm a part of it.
Yeah. Okay. Game of the Year is Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
It's got to be Deathloop here.
I think it's also Deathloop here.
I would just like to say that this Game of the Year category feels very weak.
Just the big games of the year.
I know. I feel like somebody is shooting themselves in the foot by trying to appeal their game of the year categories to mass market, quote unquote.
You got to, yeah.
You got to.
It's hitting it's hitting Nintendo. It's hitting Xbox, PC,
Valheim
PlayStation.
sold more copies than It Takes Two.
Valheim's not out.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, Valheim doesn't exist yet. All right.
That's a good point. Yeah, Valheim's not real. But you see what I mean? Of like, yes, these are day one in the most targets for sure. But that doesn't make them Game of the Year contenders, in my opinion.
That's how it always is.
And for that reason, I would say that Deathloop it wins this because it's the best of these categories.
Yeah.
It definitely isn't not. It wouldn't be in my top running for Game of the Year personally, because there are so many other more interesting games that have come out. But we're here, so I'm gonna say Deathloop. Yeah,
I love it. We're all saying Deathloop. Okay, we will once we come back to after the Game Awards, we'll kind of go through very quickly on who did better, and then whoever lost will then have to give their spiel on who's the best esports team of the year.
I'm so excited for that. That needs to be a separate video.
Yeah, it'll be a broken out video.
Jake, are you good at rotoscoping or like adding in a green screen behind me? Because I'll probably lose.
I'll figure it out.
Can you just rotoscope the worst like news anchor backdrop?
Yeah.
And I'll just.
I think it should be an esports venue.
Yeah, let's
just
do that.
An empty venue because esports aren't allowed.
Yeah, because COVID.
Okay. You guys are both gonna roll your eyes at me, but I was having fun, and Clash of Clans, which is a video game, they're having their esports world championship right now, which is a big deal to like 30 people.
Right.
They have put multiple cameras around individuals in their homes on their phone. So there is a moving camera of a guy just doing this.
For far too long, I'm sure.
Like just it's just a guy on his phone. It's the funniest thing. And,
but he's not being epic.
They are all paid to like hype this up, so the commentators are yelling, and this guy's just
whoa, he built that tower.
It's so funny. I'm in.
All right, let's talk very briefly about what we've been playing, because Ted, I know you've been playing Clash of Clans.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Perfect. Thank you. Does anyone have anything they really want to talk about that's like chomping at their bits? No.
She said no. I've been playing The Witcher 3.
Are you gonna beat it?
I'm gonna try and beat it.
Oh, wow. Legitimately. And you're gonna play the DLC too?
Yeah, because I started. Well, okay, so the December month for me has always kind of been like this is the time to binge like an RPG. I don't know what it is. Something about the holiday, the cold weather. I just like playing an RPG around the holidays. And so I really wanted to play Cyberpunk 2077 because they were talking about an Xbox Series X PS5 update that was going to come at their 1-year anniversary. That did not happen. And so that there is no Xbox Series X update for Cyberpunk, so I just thought I might as well play a CD Projekt Red game that I did enjoy, and that would be The Witcher 3. And James and others have really talked about the DLC and about beating that game, so yes, I'm going to try and mostly mainline it and just play through the story and get to the end.
You're going to love the first DLC, I feel.
I'm having a great time so far. I really like The Witcher 3. That is a great game to just lose yourself in.
Yep. Beautiful.
Also, it's great.
You know what? Oh, sorry. I was going to mention the Netflix series is coming out.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I'm also watching the Netflix show, just little episodes here and there. And to play the game, and to be Geralt, and to play Geralt, and then to watch
the best actor play the Geralt.
Henry Cavill, he's great.
Yeah, and to watch Henry Cavill be Geralt, like 10 out of 10. Like that's a guy who played the video game.
Yeah, that is a guy who played the video game. So.
I don't think that show is the greatest show of all time or anything, but his depiction of Geralt is so good. Mm-hmm. It's oh my god.
He does like really well. Like,
he's like this weird like semi-sarcastic but also emotionless. He
nails it.
Nails it. It's really incredible to watch.
I think that second season is going to be a lot better than the first. I think they made some very weird storytelling choices with the first season.
Yeah, the first season direction was all over the place, but the second season hopefully is like.
Me too.
I hope so too. Yeah. I'm very excited.
They made the weirdest choice of like not having Geralt in the final episode. I thought that was like super weird.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about Halo Battle Pass stuff. They're fixing it, and it's getting a lot better. My one complaint about Halo Infinite multiplayer so far, I really love it. I've been playing a shitload of it. My issue is actually with the cosmetic side of it. How you get like your armor cores. So you have like different armor cores that you can select to choose like how your Spartan will look. So you have like the Mark 5, the Mark 7.
These operate as the Battle Pass, right? You pick an armor set, and that's what you level up.
No.
Oh, okay.
You unlock
this is the problem.
through that Battle Pass.
Okay.
You unlock stuff through the Battle Pass, but it can be for different armor sets. Yeah. So it can be like, you can unlock a gold visor for the Mark 7 suit, but not for the Mark 5 suit. So if you're using the Mark 5 suit and you unlock this visor, you're like, this is awesome. You go into it, it's the other armor set. But then this helmet you unlocked is for this armor set.
Really? I thought, and maybe I'm just naive, I thought that you selected a suit of armor, you paid for it, and then you unlock stuff for the suit of armor, and that was the end of it.
That's not how it works.
See, I would
really?
I don't mind it being unlocked like for another, but it should be like for all.
Yeah, it should just be one armor set that you can choose.
Yeah, because now you have to like level
shoulder pads.
It should just be for all.
Because they have this event going on, the fractured whatever it's called, and it's like that fractured butthole. It's that samurai like suit that you get, like the Shogun suit, and you don't. It's its own armor core. So all the shoulder pads and stuff can only go on the samurai armor. It can't go on your guy. Like you have to just play as the samurai, and then you all look the same. It's not a well thought out system. Yeah, and I think they really need to look at it and like see if it can be combined, because
which they are looking at stuff, but you just gotta like mention it to them.
Yeah, but this I think is kind of just an interesting issue, because I got a helmet I really like with the red visor, but two different armor sets. One's in the Mark 5 and one's in the Mark 4, so I can't make my guy the way I look. And I also think that the colors being, you don't choose your colors, they're like different palettes that you unlock, is just shitty. You don't get to pick your colors. But other than that, Halo Infinite's great. We're about to go play Halo Infinite, and Thank you so much for watching the 80th episode of the Sidescape Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Jake Burke. That's Ted Libby, and that's James St. Charles, and we will see you next week.